Blessings, everyone. I hope that you guys are doing really well and that wherever you are, that you're enjoying the spring season. We've been having this crazy weather here in New York. It's warm, it's cold, it's windy. The elements are a little run amok. How are you guys doing? I've missed connecting with you. I was speaking to Loon and saying that we definitely have to make the time to come together and do one more Emerald Paradigm before she takes off on her journey. I miss doing our shows together, and I love all the messages and inquiries that have come through asking if we're going to have another show together. You know, we love to keep the commitment, but not quite sure how and if we could be able to do a show together from a distance. But of course, you guys know that she has an amazing channel. Most of you have come to join me here thanks to her. Anyway, I hope that we are able to do a show together, another Emerald Paradigms offering. And so how are you guys doing? It's been a couple of crazy days with electronics. I don't know about you guys, but yesterday my computer was really slow. And so I decided to go in and delete my cookies, hoping that that would take care of the problem. Well, the next thing you know, my Google's icon is missing, and I tried to restore it. I couldn't. Google's completely disappeared from my computer. Thank God that I have a whiz kid who was able to restore it. Even after downloading it from online, it still wouldn't show up. And today, I'm looking right now, and there seems to be a halo sort of like around, right, the screen, where I don't know if it's going to come up in the actual video, but there's almost like this circle coming around the screen, and I have no idea. I don't have the technological expertise or skill to do any fancy, effects. And so I don't know, there must be something in the air that's causing all of this. Anyway, I don't plan it, but I like to always, chime in with some kind of insightful words, or just to share an experience and an observation of something that I may have encountered in the office. And a lot of chakra work / blockage in the office this week. And I say that with love and with no judgment. And I'm gonna share my interpretation of what that means to me. Of course, please remember that what resonates, wonderful for you to explore further. And if it doesn't, that my goal is just to share. And if it resonates, to invite the viewers to explore further. I'm a great advocate of believing that the chakras and the body are very intimately correlated, even though they're invisible to the physical eye, and that they're trying to tell us something, and how they communicate with us most of the time is through discord and or disease in the body. And of course, there's always, that little percentage of the environment, destiny. We came here with a code that would, be activated to develop some kind of condition or illness for growth, spiritual growth, or to be a catalyst and a messenger for others. But again, I'm pretty strong in the advocacy that discord in the body is chakra related, and the chakras are just trying to communicate to us, to tell us that there's something out of balance, perhaps. And so when I work with someone who is experiencing physical discord, I go right to that chakra and see how it correlates to any kind of emotional situation. And I'm telling you, 9.9% of the time, 99.9% of the time, the situation correlates to the chakra. So in other words, if someone is experiencing perhaps any kind of congestive or upper respiratory or breast related issues, it could very well be correlated to betrayal, to nurturing, issues of nourishment, receiving nurturing as children, or neglect, betrayal of the self, betrayal of a partner, or betrayal of from parents not being present or available, and because of those feelings felt in the heart and held in the heart, then whatever organs and or part of the body say are connected to the heart chakra, the closest may very well be the receptors by which the blockages of those energies are then communicated. And so much like we could look at an x-ray and see that there's a ligament or a fracture by looking at an x-ray, some healers, seers can, or again, I could only speak for myself, see a correlation between an emotional root cause of feeling, an emotional blockage, and discord that is being reflective in the body. It goes on and on. Feelings of intolerance, for example, can very well be reflected in sinus conditions, being stuffy and being unable to breathe. And of course, we all have sensitivity to allergies and intolerances to some of the environmental, elements. But we also need to look at, or we should look at, if there is feelings of intolerance. I remember many years ago when I first had my center, I used to love to burn essential oils to welcome, the meditation students. And this woman wanted to come in and attend one of the classes, but I had an oil burner on, and she said, she couldn't tolerate the smell, her allergies, and so, but she kept coming, hoping that I would correct the situation. So I really wanted her to come in, and I told her, "We'll come back next week, and I'll make sure that I'll have the oil burner off." And she did, and she enjoyed the meditation class. And afterwards, I lovingly shared with her that allergy conditions can be a culprit or connected to intolerance issues, and that resonated with her deeply. She was having some very challenging situations with one of her parents, and it was challenging her patience and tolerance. Anyway, she was intrigued, and she became a client, and we did some work on releasing those feelings. And sure enough, I'll tell you what, not only was she able to overcome the allergies, but she became an avid fan of using the oils and the diffusers and having them at home, because once she started to address the real issue, why she was so stuffed, that it was emotionally driven, she released it, and now all of a sudden her allergies will no longer an issue. And I know that sounds kind of radical, because again, there are certain people who are affected, by certain irritants. Um, but I would suggest that we look at we take a checklist and see if we may be feeling that. Digestive issues are usually emotionally suppressed emotions, or not having a voice. The solar plex is the seat of empowerment. And so when we're feeling disempowered or unable to step into our empowerment, perhaps because of situations or people who may be aggressive or controlling in our lives, then we suppress those feelings, and they could manifest in digestive issues. Um, Having shame or guilt over any inappropriateness that may have occurred during our childhood, or some kind of sexual violation, uh, betrayal, can be reflective in the lower chakras and the sacral. And again, I really emphasize that this is not always, black or white. Nothing is. But there's an amazing science. And I can humbly say this because I have truly seen thousands of people able to recover from ailments, from serious conditions, by looking at the correlation between the emotional and the physical, and going underneath that and reconciling with the emotions behind it, releasing, forgiving, and moving past that. We hold on to these feelings, and when we do that, we're holding on to those emotions, which then create the blockage, which then lead into a an imbalance, or a dis-ease. Yes? I don't know why I had to share that today. Perhaps because I worked with someone yesterday, and a few over the last week, that have come in with some serious conditions, and have not had too much success, or not every one of them, but a few, with traditional medical intervention. And of course, I applaud them for reaching and being open for holistic work. But yes, homework, that dreaded word that my beautiful clients over the years don't like to hear. The process of doing pardon letters, of going through an internal, emotional, spiritual process of letting go and reconcilement. Truly a gift for bringing us back to balance. Yes? I hope that resonates, or that may be an invitation for someone who's listening today. I am sitting, of course, with my favorite deck. I work with this deck because it is so very in alignment with me, in that the cards become a portal, and the more reverence I bring to the oracle deck when I'm sitting, one-on-one with someone, the more revealing in an incredible way it is. And so I really love to use it. I have about 30 decks, but it is the go-to deck when I am working with someone, and really amazed and humbled at the accuracy of details that shows through. Okay, so setting our energy, clearing the space, being open to divine guidance. Yes? Okay, here we go. Suffering and silence in reverse. A literal card. If we're suffering in silence and it's in reverse, releasing ourselves, walking away from a toxic situation, or from talking about suppression, feeling free to finally free ourselves from a situation that was binding or bounding us emotionally in some way. Um, Not being captured by some kind of emotional state where you felt that you were alone. So it's a wonderful card of freedom, of release, and of liberation. Um, yeah, and here we go. Triumph, success. So congratulations on reaching. Perhaps I feel like there's a connection in that card of taking that step to release yourself from something that was binding. Um, and the success triumph card is about now being able to experience the new chapters, the new experiences ahead by virtue of the fact that there's freedom available and liberation now. I like that. I like that a lot. Your third eye chakra, introspection, going in deep, you know, to listening, making the time to communicate, trusting your intuition, what you feel, what you see. By the way, our intuition speaks to us in many ways through our five senses, sometimes through our belly, feeling that knot or that nervousness, chills in our body. you know, we should listen to the body and our senses. Our intuition doesn't only speak, through the literal third eye all the time, but of course, when we're meditating or in that quiet space, it can reveal itself that way. But I'm feeling like I want to say, pay attention, to all the beautiful sensories that can speak to you. Um, when you're in tune with that higher vibration and your senses, your feelings, the way your body feels, and even the temperature that you may feel as you're going to certain places or interacting with certain people. Guess what? I feel like I need to pull one more. And another heart chakra. It's, by the way, not a heart, it's not a chakra deck, but the heart chakra, I feel expansiveness here, going back to the original card, the original pull, not any longer being in silence or suffering, means that your heart is now open, ready to experience more expansiveness, love, interactions with others, and loving the self, just acceptance of you, space for more heart energy based uh, experiences and expression. Yes, I like those cards. They're kind of, very different and yet all speaking to, together as well. I always love to hear if those cards resonated with you, if they spoke to you, if there was a message hidden in one of the cards or in the whole reading for you. And of course, I just love to hear from you in general to see how you're doing. If there's anything that you would like me to address, I am here. I'm not always here, I know. There's a lot going on. I'm still looking for a new space. We're sort of on the fence of whether I should take on another office now that Luna's leaving. But have been guided to, I'm not done yet with that sacred work. And so actively looking for space, working on a summer holistic expo here on Staten Island, June 30th at the Hilton Garden Inn. If you guys are interested and are around the tri-state area and would like to join us, you can always contact me for more information on that. And still opening the doors for the shamanic drumming, the journeying that I've been inspired to tap into after the beautiful retreat in Costa Rica. Yes? And so that's how I'm keeping myself busy. I hope that you're keeping yourself busy in amazing, beautiful ways. And till we connect again, don't forget that I love you so very much, and I send you my love, my light, and my peace. Have an amazing Memorial Day weekend, and I will be in touch with you guys very soon. Love you. Bye-bye.